Hey guys, Karix here with another review. This time I'll bring the Gattai Yonrin Deluxe Ride Crosser from Kamen Rider Drive. This is a set of two rider machines that can combine into one super machine. So this set includes three things: two bikes, the Ride Mocker and Ride Chaser respectively, and one signal. So we'll take a look at the bikes individually along with the signal, and then see what they do. So first is Kamen Rider Mach's Ride Mocker. This is done in black and pearl white plastic with red metallic blue paint apps. So as you can see, the base bike design is a pretty simple yet bulky street bike. Taking a look at the front cowl, see that's got this triangular shape to it, with the main color being the pearl white plastic with red racing stripes to mimic Mach's, and then this metallic blue part to represent his eyepiece. So it's got this black can mounted to the front, with a lot of nice mold and detail. On the other side you have this piece hanging down here, which also has red racing stripes, and this is one of the two pieces along with this one that are used to combine the two bikes. Got the handlebars here, which are done in soft rubbery plastic. Silver gas cap right there. Let's see here. Little silver part here. I'm not sure what this would actually be on the bike. You'll have the two wheels, which can spin quite well, and have mullion spokes, along with a chain for the back wheel. It's got the back part of the seat here, and this large part as the back cowl. You can see that this is also done in pearl white plastic. This has little bits of red, but mostly metallic blue, as this is kind of what will become the canopy for the combined mode. Now this is possibly the biggest discrepancy of the entire set, because this is a lot larger than it is in the show, at least within the Ride Mocker on its own. And the reason for that is because within the actual show, there is some mass shifting going on to actually get to combined. As in, this part literally grows to this size to combine and then shrinks back down when it's done. Now, this is actually this is attached by this long stock here. I think that as far as what they could have done with this is to either have two of them, a small one for the bike mode on its own and then the large one for the combined mode, or make the stock piece a little bit shorter so that this top part would be closer to this part down here. You can see a little bit more metallic white here, and the back part with the tail lights there. It also has a third wheel here to help it balance. Next is Machine Chaser's Ride Chaser. This one is done from basically the same mold, but with some differences. And see, it's basically the same type of bike, but it's got a slightly different paint job, and like I said, different details. This is a lot more black than the other, and doesn't have quite as much other colors. You can see some pale purple flames in the front and in the back. For the front part, you have this giant cowl piece, or this giant kind of hood ornament, in metallic silver with this nicely detailed, very creepy skull, with metallic red eyes painted in. You got the same kind of handlebars and same design for the seat and most of the body. And then in the back, got this part with a simple silver plastic piece. It also has a skull mold on it, and it's basically a smaller version of the skull on the front, which is a nice touch. And also you can see that there are also tail lights right here that you can't really see on the Ride Mocker because of this piece there. You'll also see that on this side it has these two clip pieces, which is how it combines. Then finally you have the include signal, which is the Tomare signal. This is done in the same kind of molding style as the Magaru and Koukan signals, just with its respective sticker, the metallic red stop sign. Before I show this off, I will first show off how you can use the figures with these bikes. Of course, we will use Kamen Mach for the Ride Mocker, and Machin Chaser for the Ride Chaser, and just, to make things a little bit easier for myself and for the audience, I have taken the time to pre-pose these guys. As you can see, it's a little bit complicated to get them into the kind of poses where you can actually use the built-in footrests. So I'll get these guys on there first. Sit down Mach on here. Get his feet in place. And have him grip the handlebars. And one thing you can see is that these guys weren't exactly, or I guess the bikes, weren't quite designed with these kind of poses in mind. Because as you can see, he doesn't quite hold the handlebars straight. More, it kind of grips them on the ends. You'd kind of have to get him in a different kind of pose if you wanted him to have a kind of a full grip on the handlebars, but then you wouldn't have him sitting like this with the feet on the footrests. And you can also take a little bit of time to adjust him like that. So you got him like that. Then for Machin Chaser, we'll do the same thing. Although for him, you will know that he does, of course, have the big tire Koukan port on the back. So that makes things a little bit more tricky, but you can still get him posed on the bike. Again, you want to get him on there and have him grip the handlebars, just like so. Though if you want him to actually sit down in the seat, you'll have to kind of lower this back a little bit. Because see, this port will push back this part anyway. And there you go. Then we'll move these guys in, so we can do a signal Koukan. And so of course we'll be using the signal Koukan of signal Tomare. Let's sing that one more time.
Signal Koukan. Tomare.
And yeah, you will note that because of these parts on the side, the ride mocker is a little bit side heavy to this side, but can still stand. So of course, to change out the tires, I'm gonna do the same thing as always, which is remove his current, or rather signals, is to remove the current signal. Just take the new one and snap it right on there. Sure it's snapped on in both sides. And there you have Mach Tomare. Now it is interesting that you can also have him ride his bike, but also have different signals, which is something you can't really do with Drive because a lot of his tires kind of get in the way of him being able to properly sit and ride around. Then when that's done, take this off and put back on the regular signal, or the Signa Korin, as it's properly called. Which is kind of strange because you'd expect it to be called the Mach signal. There we go. Just getting this guy straightened out. We now combine the two to create the ride crosser. So I'm actually going to do this in a way that mimics the show. So the first thing you do is that you want to line up the two bikes side by side. Basically like this. Then comes the interesting part where it's going to take the bikes and extend them out like so. Actually, I'm going to leave that for later. Actually, what I'll do next is take these two pieces, fold them out like this. I want to lift this up to get this one out. Then you want to line up these with these and snap them into place. Together like so. Just like that. Then move Motion Chaser, as only one of them can ride it, and the primary user of the ride crosser is actually Mach. Then take these and extend them out. Just like so. Flip it around. Take these two pieces here. Fold those down. Now take these little pieces on the inside. Fold them out like this. You kind of want to get your fingers in there to kind of push it out like so. Line them up like that. Then take Mach and take him off his bike. What you want to do is straighten him out and have him sit on this part in here. Now, you obviously have to straighten out his legs. And what I would suggest doing is to actually take off the signal, as it is possible to have him sing in there with a signal, but it actually gets in the way. Because of the way this is designed, you actually won't see it that much. Whether or not you have him equipped with it. So, Gem sing here like that. Take off this part. Flip these parts down. And take these two clips and peg them here and here. And the best way to do this is to basically try to get him sitting as upright as possible. Line it up and clip them into place. And just get to the back and adjust it a little bit. So it's something like that. You come down here, fill out these two parts, fold in the handlebars so that they're facing forward like this. and take the can part from the ride mocker, fold it up like so, then forward like this. And there you have the ride crosser. So basically what you got there is two two-wheeled bikes combining into one four-wheeled car. And that's kind of what the whole Yonrin, Gattai Yonrin thing is, since Gattai is combination, and Yonrin means four wheels. So what you have here is definitely a very interesting vehicle. It is described as a car, but definitely not your typical car. There aren't really many new details revealed here, besides these two protruding blades or additional blasters. And then you can see how this all becomes one large canopy piece, with these being different parts of the windshield. Well, it looks definitely cool from a aesthetic design. Definitely does make you wonder how he sees out of it, because assuming that these are different windows, it means he has a kind of limited field of view. Also, taking a look at it from the bottom, you can actually see he's literally just sitting on this piece here. And then this kind of just locks in place, with his 2 feet sticking out like that and that. You also get a different look, depending on which way you display it. You can get this kind of all-white mock look when displaying it from this side. And then you get a kind of combined look of mock and motion chaser from this side. Now, one thing to also note is that this has 2 tire ports. So if you want, you can use mock signals like Tomare and Koukan. Though those don't look quite so impressive. So you can also use drive tires like Max Flare and Midnight Shadow. So for this, I'm going to flip out all the flares. Then clip this onto the mock side. Just like that. Then for Midnight Shadow, fold out all the spike parts and attach it to the chaser side. And there you have that. And it can still roll even with those tires attached. It's definitely quite cool. Additionally, for a size comparison, here it is next to Trideron. As you can see, Trideron is a lot bigger than the Ride Crosser. However, I don't think that this scale is quite so accurate, just because of how large Trideron is to facilitate both the transformation as well as having drive fit in there. However, an interesting note is that while they're not the same length, they're about the same width. And of course, if you want, you can also have Motion Chaser inside the Ride Crosser. And just getting this kind of out of the way, while not going too much into spoilers, the reason why these two can combine, at least within the context of the show, is because Motion Chaser was developed from the original Drive called Proto Drive, who drove a motorcycle that was actually turned into the Ride Chaser. And so the Ride Mocker was programmed so that when it comes into proximity with the Ride Chaser, the two actually combine. Of course, within the marketing scheme of things, this was additionally done so that you'd get the 2 bikes in one set. while having some other playability besides just having, the respective figures ride on them. Again, you kind of want to adjust him so that his head is up in here. He's at least partially sitting on the seat. I'll admit that for Chaser it's a little bit tougher than Mach. But you also have Mach and Chaser in there. Though really the only way you can tell is by looking at the feet or looking at him from the back. It's a similar case to Triton, where, both are kind of designed so that they would look good even if they didn't have anybody inside. And there you go. Overall, the Ride Crosser is what I think is a very nice set. Now, obviously, one of the things they could have done is package Mach with the Ride Macher and then have Mach and Chaser come with the Ride Chaser. But I like what they did here. Instead of just having them get their bikes and then have them be able to ride on them and nothing else, they gave extra playability, in both giving these two the ability to combine, as well as giving them tire ports, so that you can use any of Mach's signals or any of Drive's tires on this, expanding its playability. I also definitely like the design here. It is kind of a half and half thing, but like I said earlier, that makes it interesting because you get a different feel depending on which way you look at it. Though, also, like I said earlier, I do wish that there was a separate piece for this, for the bike mode, or a smaller one. But I can kind of look past that, as, this is definitely enjoyable as a set on the whole. Now, of note is that Tomodachi Nations has announced and is scheduling to release as a figure arts versions of the Ride Chaser and the Ride Macher that will be more accurate to the show. However, what they note is that they aren't set to combine, and it is unknown if there will be an SH Figure Arts Ride Crosser. So whether you get these or the SHF versions kind of depends on whether you want to, get ones for your entire Koukan figures that can also have the combined figures, or rather combined feature, or if you want ones that are a lot more accurate to the show. It's kind of up to you, but I'd say if you have the entire Koukan figures, then I definitely recommend picking this up just because you get both of the bikes, they can combine, and you also can use them with your different tires and signals. So really, even though this doesn't have, as many modes as Triton, and it doesn't have any electronics, I definitely say that for what it is, it's a worthwhile pickup, especially if you have Mach and or Chaser. So, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and check my channel for more videos. And for now, this is KRX50, riding off.